Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this session.
Moses, are you available? Moses?
Yes, Steven, I'm available. I think Rogers is now off.
Yeah, we have lost Rogers. Don't know.
Okay, I want to welcome you all to this session. We are going to start with a brief breakout session where we are going to be discussing about the morning session, what you could have missed, and your assignment. I don't know if that's okay. I don't know if the instructions are clear.
Moses.
Oh, Rogers, you're back?
Yeah, I don't know what happened and I jumped off, but before that, I wanted to see here in the Google Classroom, that's why I shared the screen for the Google Classroom, about how people are submitting in work. So, and there could be those members who are new and maybe they don't know about the Google Classroom and all that, but this is our Google Classroom, and we are going to be looking at Google Classroom during this week. We are going to be looking more about Google Classroom, the way we are looking at Zoom today. Yeah, so in Google Classroom, you find the stream, classwork, people is the tab which shows the teachers and the students. So right now we have around 100 students in the class. And then we are going to be marking you, and your marks will also be recorded. We are going to be having a mark sheet with the results. Yeah, so right now in the morning, I can see there was an assignment on Zoom, and 1700 in already, and the teacher is going to be marking more. The question was requiring you to just create a Zoom meeting and share the Zoom link on Google Classroom. So that is what I'm seeing here. So I'm seeing Brighter Academy has handed in, and I can see the Zoom link is correct. The Zoom link is correct. So I can even see from here those who have handed in correct Zoom links. Yeah, so yeah, all the people who have handed in right Zoom links. So if I click on this, it can take me to their Zoom meeting. I can be able to join. If I click here, I can be able to join their meeting. Yeah, so we are going to be looking more about how those meetings are being scheduled. So that is all. There is someone who has posted in the WhatsApp group saying that the assignments are too many, you reduce on the assignments. Sincerely, an assignment which you can do in 15 minutes, scheduling a Zoom meeting, installing Zoom, click on new meeting. This is an assignment. These assignments we are giving you are doable. You should be able to do them within 30 minutes. And how will you practice? Because someone who is saying that we reduce on the assignment, I think for him is just interested in getting the certificate, even if he doesn't learn anything. Yeah, so you should be asking for more work, not asking for us to reduce work instead. Then there's another member here, other members here who are posting the work in the wrong place. When you are submitting your work on Google Classroom, you don't just paste it as a comment at the bottom here. No one is going to mark, and you're not going to get any mark. Patrick, Joseph Okwi, you have handed in, but you are going to get 0 marks because you have posted the work in a wrong place. When you have to submit your work, you go and you click on the assignment when you are a student, and then you can be able to submit your work. For example, I don't know if I can be able to see a class here where I'm a student. Where I'm a student here, I have some classes here where I'm a student. For example, I'm a student in this class. Okay, so if I go to classwork, so this is what you'll see on your end. Even on the app, you'll see a place where there's classwork. So I'll see assignments. Assignments have this thing of like a clipboard. So I click on the assignment. Then there will be some instructions there. I view the assignment. So there will be instructions. I can open and I read the instructions. Then down here, I can turn in my work. I click on add or create. In this case, we wanted a link. So you just click on link and then you paste your link. So when you click on your link and then you click on hand in. So you'll go and look for the Zoom link. Copy your Zoom link from the other side after you have scheduled. And then you come here and then you put in the link in the work. So that is something that I wanted just to always good to. Okay, so let me. Okay. So okay, I've copied the invitation link to some meeting. So if I come here, this is what we wanted. So we are just going to be analyzing. If you don't submit a link, then you are not going to get a certificate. You must do all the assignments. If you miss out one, then you will not have qualified for this particular training because you will have missed out. So let us try to do these assignments that you can do within a few minutes. And you should be able to achieve what is set out for this. Mr. Moses. Okay, let me first get some questions. Harriet, you have a hand? Harriet?
No, please. It was a
Okay.
mistake.
Enoch?
Yes, Bwana Rogers.
Yes.
I'm delighted to be still on this session. Mine is a request to you, the head, and our other heads there. You can call them your co-hosts. How I wish you let us know in our group WhatsApp, for example, that now members so far, they have 5 assignments. For example, right now, I have done very many assignments, but it was 3:30. That's when I realized that Mr. Godfrey told us to post our application later. I didn't recognize that before. So I was just cross-checking, then I saw that. Now, for me, I'm counting the number of assignments I've so far done. Now, if possible, in the group, WhatsApp group, you keep updating us. And so far, these are the people who have handed in the correct assignment. These ones, the way you've done it, I beg you increase the gear. Thank you, sir.
Okay, maybe something I want to tell you about your request.
Yes, please.
Ideally, we are supposed even to use Google Classroom alone without the WhatsApp group. Google Classroom has a feature of notification. When at the moment a teacher submits an assignment, you get an email that there is a new assignment. And the assignments we are not putting a due date. Anytime you open that, the same way you open the WhatsApp app is the same way you should be opening the Google Classroom app. The moment you open the Google Classroom app and you click on Class tab, there is a list of assignments there, and actually it even shows you whether you have turned in or not. So we don't have to tell you that you have turned in because you know whether you have turned in or not. The moment you click on the assignment, for example, here, I'm a student here. This thing is telling me Stephen Dumba presentation assignment. And it is telling me Moses Kasa assignment. You are receiving this email because you enrolled for cohort 2. So we get these notifications are there, and even if it's not notifications, if you go to Google Classroom and click on Classwork tab, you'll see all assignments lined up. So why should we repeat what is already clear on Google Classroom? If you click on Classwork tab, you see the assignments which are there. So do we again have to tell you that there's an assignment when you are seeing it in your Google Classroom app and you are getting an email that an assignment has been posted? We are supposed to use the Google Classroom app and make sure they get to know the features. We can't guarantee that we are going to be telling you every time the list that these 8 have submitted. What you are going to do is we are just going to analyze, and then we are going to see your results. Yes.
Rogers. In fact, all the assignments have been coming up very well. Only the Zoom challenged me, and up to now I'm not yet certain whether I turned it my correct information about Zoom. Can you please check?
Did you get the Zoom link?
Yes, but it challenged me. I turned in, but I'm not so sure whether I turned in the correct thing.
We are going to mark you. The teacher, like Mr. Dumba has done, the teacher is going to leave a comment when he's marking. If you made a mistake, he will tell you that you submitted the wrong link, and you will get a notification that the teacher has left a comment, so you can be able to see whether, for example, instead of submitting the Zoom link, maybe you have submitted the Zoom ID, which is not a correct URL. The teacher is going to give you that information. Mr. Dumba has just shared a screenshot in the WhatsApp group showing some of the comments that he is sharing. But those comments have even been sent via email to the students involved. So we are dealing with a lot of work here. We're having many participants. We can't start saying that. So you are going to get feedback. We are going to mark, and you're going to get feedback about your work, if that's feedback is what you want.
Okay, please.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Dennis, you have a hand. Dennis?
Yes, please, Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
I was the one who had posted. I was not meaning to reduce the number of assignments as in general, but the number of assignments can even be more, but at least for getting a certificate, there should be, because if you see that someone has submitted many and maybe they are going in the wrong place, that means maybe they didn't understand very well how to turn in their work. So you'll find that that very person will miss out because he was putting on a wrong place where.
Yeah, we are. Yes, Mr. Dennis, we are going to see for now.
And since you have a lot of questions, so you may not answer all.
Yeah, Mr. Dennis, for now we are setting the bar at the top. We shall make an evaluation. If we see half of the class never managed to do all the 10, then we shall see what we shall do. But for now, we want all the assignments. We can't tell you that you do a few. The assignments are short and you can do them before the next session. Like today's session, we are going to be looking at.
Okay, please go.
Because
when I was saying so,
we've been having is for people not being thorough. And then the whole process of the online training goes to waste. So for these sessions, please endeavor to do all the assignments. Don't miss a certificate, please. Endeavor to do all the assignments. First of all, they are simple assignments. Secondly, there are things you've learned about. So one thing you should do is don't let an assignment pass. The moment you do an assignment, and you should share it immediately.
Mr. Moses.
Yes, Rogers.
Yeah, I was suggesting that we just go into the session since we had a breakaway in the morning. We shall just get more. We shall just get some other interaction towards the end. But you can first introduce Google Meet as well, and we compare it with the Zoom.
Okay.
I'm seeing Egwal. Let me first hear from Egwal, then you go ahead. Egwal.
Benson.
Yeah, thank you, Rogers. I want to appreciate your efforts, and you are trying to make a very simple step on how to create this this Zoom, then my thing went off. I missed it, but I was beginning to pick it very well, the way you are summarizing it.
Yeah, now the reference is not supposed to be only here on Zoom. Where you find that you are lost, you go to YouTube and search how to create a Zoom. You should not just think that you get only from us here.
Okay, sir.
You are supposed to add on top of what we do. And also we have the videos. If you have missed out a session, you can watch the video again and see what you missed out. Otherwise, right now we are supposed to go to something else. We can't go back to Zoom, which we are finished. Yes.
I request the video for the morning session should be put there so that we can follow it.
It's fine. We already shared it in the WhatsApp group, and we are sharing.
We always share the videos, the video links in the WhatsApp groups. I've also attached the stream link for people who are having challenges with Zoom.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, Moses, you can go ahead.
All right, let me take this opportunity to welcome us all into this session. My name is Moses Kasa once again, and I'm going to be taking us through this session. Just like the morning session, we're going to have a short question and answer. I want to know basically what people know about Meet by just show of hands. First of all, I want to see hands of people who have used Meet before. You've been in a meeting with Google Meet, you have scheduled, and maybe you've just heard of it and joined the meeting by mistake. Just show of hands. Okay, 7 out of 41. Okay, that's pretty. 8, that's fair. That's fair. All right, so what is Meet? What do people understand when they hear Meet? Peace, you have something to say?
Oh, I was just putting my hand down.
Oh, okay. Seguia Livingstone. Bernard Chove.
It is also an online communication platform like Google. You create via Google Meet.
All right, thank you so much. So Meet is a video conferencing alternative to Zoom. It is just an alternative online conferencing tool. And I wanted to take you through, to the Zoom site, rather to the Google Meet site. Okay, so Google Meet. It is simply another video conferencing tool, and its main requirement is just having a Google account. So without a Google account, you can still use Meet, but it will have a lot of limitations. Very, very many limitations. But then I want to look at what we can use Meet for. We can use Meet for the meetings, and it is using the same security features that Zoom has. Rather, the same features that our emails and Drive have. So to people who have been always scared, what will happen if I use Meet? It is not secure. The same security you use with your email, with your Google Drive, is the same security that Google Meet is using. Another thing is you can use Meet from anywhere, anywhere. And it is also it is very, very flexible. Just like Zoom, you can use Google Meet on relatively any device. However, for people who are using the iOS devices, it has a lot of limitations. But you can still use the app. So the first thing I wanted to do is to sign into my account. I'm stopping screen share so I can log into my account securely. Okay, I hope people can see my screen. So first of all, you head to your Google and you sign in. So I'm going to use the account we used in the morning. And then I'm going to put the password. You can easily log into your accounts by going to accounts.google.com. But for my case, I just open Gmail and then I'll proceed to these 9 dots. Do you see the dot stack? We can always click here to access all the Google apps. There are very many Google apps and we can always access them from here. We can also drag them to arrange them. So for example, me, I use Gmail a lot. I'll bring it to the front. I use Drive a lot. I can drag it closer. It's all about bringing all these things in the order you want. However, even if you don't bring them to order, they'll still work. So I'm going to click on Google Meet. And then it's going to automatically log me in. So the options we are going to have is creating a new meeting or entering code for a meeting. Maybe the code has already been sent to you. Maybe you just need to create a new meeting. Maybe it's an office meeting and there is a way you get the link. You will have to input it here. This is for the desktop users. For the people using the Android devices, we shall have a brief look through like we had for Zoom. However, it has a similar interface. So we are going to say new meeting and they'll give us the 3 options: creating a meeting for later, starting an instant meeting, or scheduling a meeting using Google Calendar. One thing I want us to realize is that when we are using these Google tools, things appear to be more or less so close to each other. You kind of realize that these Google applications are interconnected. So you can use whichever you want in the same bar. So here we are going to create an instant meeting. So because it is an instant meeting, you're going to join the meeting immediately and automatically. And then you're going to be prompted if you want Meet to use your microphone and your camera. I think I want Google to access those things, right? So I'm going to allow. And here they'll explain to you why you need blah, blah, blah. So you just let it be. A link will be shown to you. And here I just want to show us a few things. The very first thing, the link contains the code. So here you can either copy the code by typing it in another device, or you can just press the copy button and then share the link. For example, I've shared the link in the chat. And whoever follows that link will be able to join. Alternatively, because this is a Google framework, I can choose to add other participants by just typing their names. Mukalele Rogers at gmail.com. Simply like that. Oh, and now they're telling me that Mr. Dumba wants to join. Here I will admit. And then already someone has joined your meeting. Okay, so that's it for there. Then the next thing I want us to talk about are the meeting controls. We have the basic meeting controls, which are the first 5 on the line. That is the microphone, the video. So you realize that because you accepted, your audio is on and people are hearing whatever you're saying. You also realize that your camera is on. And then people are seeing you. For example, we can see Mr. Dumba. Assuming it was not intentional for him, he would have to switch off his camera. Like I switched off my camera because I'm not in a proper lighted place. So I don't want people wasting their data, seeing a darkness that is not clear. People are wondering, what is that thing? So that is why I prefer to switch off my camera and let someone else show their camera. It also has an option of screen share, which is called present. And under present, they will ask you if you want to present your entire screen, a window, or a portion of your screen, which is called a tab. For example, if you want to share a tab, it is best if you want to share a small piece. For example, if you want to share something in your browser, something small that you want people to see. Let me try sharing this video that I was watching. And so now the people in Meet are seeing this video. I think I'll not play the video because it will take our data and it will make noise. So I'll choose to stop. Then we can also choose under the 3 options. You can choose the whiteboard option. I'm going to briefly explain all these options. So the first option is the whiteboard. We use the whiteboard if we want to write to our screens. We want to write for people to see. Then I'm going to start a new whiteboard. I'm going to switch screen so that people can see the whiteboard. So now, where are you, whiteboard? I think it's this one, share. So all of you can now see my whiteboard. This whiteboard has several features similar to the features we have in our Zoom. It has the pen feature where I can write. It has an eraser feature in case I want to redact. It has the pointer. It has a sticky note. And the difference here is I can also share this whiteboard for other people to see. And to copy this whiteboard link. Please copy. Sorry, my computer is a little slow. Please bear with me. But for the people in the link, you already can access the whiteboard. Isn't it, Mr. Dumba? So I'm going to share the whiteboard. And I'm going to copy link. This is the same process we use for other things. I've also pasted the link to the whiteboard in the chat. So with Google Meet, it's more of a collaboration tool because nearly anyone that has access can get to what you want them to get. It is not so limited. It is not so limited like Zoom, where you only share a few things, and then it also has somewhat fewer features. Zoom has very, very many features. Another thing to look out is the layout, changing the layout, choosing to go full screen. Just like Zoom, you can also change your background. For example, my background is not so nice, so I can choose to have a virtual background. I can have a colored background. I can have an image. I can have a blur. I can choose several things. I can also choose captions and then select the language for the captions so that people can understand can read what I am saying by just looking at the screen. I always disable the captions because of the language limitations. Because now to some of us here in Uganda, you can speak the whole time without the computer understanding what you're saying. And you teach for over 5 hours. So then the other important part I want us to look at are the settings of your Google Meet. And here is where I want us to pay the most attention. When you connect your Google Meet, these settings are available. You have an option to change your microphone and set your microphone. For example, my device is connected to over 4 devices that all have microphones. So I have to select a microphone to use. I always prefer using the high definition audio device. And here they're telling me that my microphone is off because I've muted it. So I'm going to first enable it so that we can troubleshoot this. So here under microphone, sometimes you're in a meeting and you're speaking and people cannot hear you. So I come here and select the proper device, which is high definition audio device for this case. Then I choose a device that I want to use for speaking, that I want output to come out of, which is the speakers. So for my case, I want to choose the speakers instead of the headphones. So I'll select speakers, high definition audio device. And then I can test. And then when I hear sound, I know that my speakers are working fine. Then next I go to my video and configure. Now, because of the data limitations in Uganda, I prefer setting these two to auto, so that in case a person has good network, they can always choose, the system can always choose for them the best alternative, because here it has both high definition and standard definition. Me, for one, standard definition would be fine, but then to other people, it may not be necessarily fine. And since people have their data, high definition would be very, very okay. And also for the receivers, resolution, the same thing. Then the next thing we go to is the other general settings. But because I am not an admin and I don't have a paid account, I just have ordinary settings, just like everybody. So under general settings, you don't have much. Host controls. Here is where we have host management. And here is where you restrict, it gives you permission to restrict what participants can do during their meetings. And here we only have two options because it's a limited account. We limit them from sharing their screen and from sending chat messages. But for me, I've enabled that because I prefer people sharing and testing. It's all okay for me. Then finally, I want to look at the right bottom controls. Here we find the meeting details, just to show you the link to your meeting. And then here, we can see the list of participants. I only have one participant, and that is why we are only seeing one. So in case another participant joins in, let me connect another participant. Google Meet. And Meet is very easy because it's just a matter of copying the code and then all is set. So my code here is now. It is also interesting, I don't need to put the dashes because Google knows the dashes, so it will put them in for me. So after sharing my screen, boom, another participant. So when you come to the list of participants, you see that another participant has logged in. But unlike Zoom, where one participant can log in over 5 times, here it's not the case. You realize that I have logged in twice and they are showing me that both times I am the host. Is this clear? With Google Meet, it's not like Zoom, because in Zoom, I can log in over 5 times and I am only host once, co-host once, and in other places, I could even not be a host. But here, you realize that I am host on both of them. Then the next option is the chat option. And in that chat option is where we can be sharing info and things. It is where we can be sharing documents and everything. That is with the chat. Then we can have an activity. Oh, Proscovia wants to log in. Come in. So here is where we have the activity, collaborative brainstorm and sketch ideas using the whiteboard. And here is where we can choose to start a new whiteboard or choose from one of the previous whiteboards, or even choose a whiteboard saved to the Google Drive. Finally, the host controls. Using the limited account like the one I have doesn't have so many controls. So mostly it has just a few things: sharing, limiting screen share, so that other people, however much they want, they cannot share their screen, and sending chat messages. I can limit chats so that people cannot chat. People do not get to text each other during the session. So that is it now for Google Meet. And at this juncture, I want to welcome a few questions. People who have questions about Meet, anything you think I've left out or something you need to know, by show of hands. Yes, Mr. Mkisa.
Thank you so much for the presentation.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes, what I think we should also organize one, I think in the assignment, you should organize a meet so that all of us members, we can join at one time and you host us like all the participants. We share the code that we have been sharing in Zoom, then we join in and we experience it, even if it's 10 minutes, at least we'll be able to have that experience.
I think we're going to think about that and see how we can collaborate it. Mr. Mukalele will guide us.
Can it allow co-hosts and so on when it's a free version or what?
The free version, just like Zoom, doesn't permit for co-hosting.
Okay.
But we can still use it in the same way it is.
I don't know whether they have a monthly plan or they are doing annual plans like other products. If it was a monthly plan, I don't know. We'll explore it as well. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to answer all questions at once. So let me take another question.
Before, the other thing you didn't tell us, it is that it is not 40 minutes like Zoom. This one you can continue.
For 1 hour.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Mkis. I think I skipped that. Zoom can only limit us to 40 minutes, but then with Meet, we have 1 hour. Thank you so much. That was really important.
Hello.
Yes,
I was like to ask a question about the phone. Are those settings also, assuming you are using a phone, are those settings there for you to use a phone, like controlling the text of messages and the sharing? Is that option there also in the phone?
I didn't quite get you. Option of doing what?
I was saying, are those options, all those settings you have demonstrated there, are they also in the phone, assuming you are using a phone and you are the host? Is it possible to set like a limiting children from texting and sharing the screen? Are those options there in the phone?
Yes, sir, those options are available even with the phone.
I was requesting you demonstrate to us also using, because for us we are using phones here.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I think we still have time, so I can do that. Is that all for the questions?
Yes, that was what I wanted to ask you.
You've asked for everyone? Or other people are still asking?
I also had a question.
Yes, please.
This is Jen.
Yes, Jen.
Yes, actually, I also tried to open on a phone and I could not get where to put the link you sent. It was asking join with a code and I was like, now where do I go?
Okay. I'm going to address that.
That's all.
Okay, I see Edith. You have something to say?
Can I ask?
Yes, please.
Is it possible to prolong the time like we saw with Zoom where you have a break, or it is strictly 1 hour?
It is strictly 1 hour for the free sessions. But in case you need a break, I didn't understand quite the break thing, because it will also, just like Zoom, it will alert you when your time is out and you'll be cut off.
Hello,
Okay.
is talking about the recurring. We need to
Oh, the
find out.
recurring meeting.
Yes, we need to find out that. And the other thing is about to using a phone. You had to download the app first. Even me, I was trying to join, and then it took me to downloading, and it was delaying. So use it on the phone. You must download the Meet in the Google Play Store.
We're going to handle that. So first, I want to answer the first question about pricing.
Yeah, other questions, perhaps.
So,
you answer at once.
Pardon?
I'm seeing 3 or 2 other hands.
Okay, let's get from Drusilla and Ebenezer finally, before we proceed.
Thank you very much. I'm wondering, is there the option of having breakout rooms as well? Or it's not?
Okay.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening, Ebenezer.
Thank you for this program. My question is, if I need to use this Google Meet to access the pictures, how best can it be done?
Okay. All right, thank you all. Thank you so much. Yes, the free version does not have breakout rooms, but then the paid Google Workspace for individual account, that is $8 a month, has breakout rooms. So this is the list of features. For people who want to use Google Workspace Enterprise, here you have to contact the sales team, and they'll have, you kind of explain to them what you want, and then they see a way of billing you basing on the nature of enterprise. But then for the free account, you have one-to-one meeting for unlimited, because that's 1 day. Every 24 hours you can start. Then you have, for 3 participants and above, you can only host for 1 hour. Then meeting participants are only 100. Then you have unlimited meetings. You can join from a browser. You can invite external participants. It has native apps to install on your phones and tablets. It has live closed captions in several languages. You can share your screen and present. You can adjust the layout, but then only for the paid accounts can you have meeting recordings. You cannot record your meetings with a basic account. You cannot have active noise cancellation. You realize my background is very, very noisy on Meet relative to Zoom. You also, just like Zoom, you have an option for dial-in phone numbers, but only for a few supported countries. You can raise hands, participants can raise their hands, can be taken to breakout rooms. You can use polls. Someone was asking for the assessment. You can use polls, question and answer. You can have attendance reports and live streaming even to in your domain. But all these only work if you have a paid account. And for the domain, it only domain attendance reports and question and answer only works for the enterprise editions. Okay, so I want to share my camera again, just like we did in the Zoom session for the Meet session. Can everybody see my screen properly? Okay, so I'm going to go back home. The first thing you're going to do is head to your Play Store. And when you head to your Play Store, first I'm going to switch to Wi-Fi because my data has kind of run out. Okay. Uh-oh. I think I disabled both. So next we are going to look for Google Meet. This is for people who have not yet installed Google Meet on their phones. And then the open option is not going to be there. You're going to have the install option. So some people have Google Apps as a bundled product. So you're going to have update because it has already been installed. It's just out of date. So we are going to click on open after installation. And then it's going to take you here so that you can log in. So I'm going to press continue. And then they'll ask me if I'm okay with it, taking pictures, yes. Allow me to record audio, yes. And then it automatically picks your Google account from your browsers, from your system. We all know that for an Android system, you must be having a Google account because they will ask you to set it up in order to install applications, security, and settings. Hope I'm right. So then here, in case you receive the code, here is where you input the code. Even if you receive the link, you just input it there and it will automatically read it. So let me start another meeting. I had logged out of the previous meeting. Let me start a meeting with my new meeting. Start an instant meeting. So now my meeting link is EBX dash, but I said we can ignore the dashes because Google is smart enough to know its links, YHK OTG, and then click on join. Some people were asking for the link. I have shared it in the chat. So here they're going to ask you if you want to connect with your audio and video. So we are going to say no audio, no video, because I don't want people to see me. Like I explained, because of the place where I am, I don't want people to see a monkey in the darkness. So thereafter, I'm going to ask to join. And the moment you ask to join, the host will admit you in. Unless you have been invited by the host, you will not have an option. Sorry, I have to put my audio off so that I don't get feedback. So unless you've been invited by the meeting host, you will not have an option to automatically enter the meeting. So you'll have to wait to be admitted into the meeting. So I'm waiting for people to join so I can admit them. I'm seeing Rogers, yes. Please, people with phones, I want to see people with phones joining the meeting. Abama Simo. The meeting code is EBX IYHK-OTG. I have also shared it in the chat. Can I please get just like 3-4 more people joining with their smartphones? You see Rogers has already joined. Okay. You know, when there are many, you just admit all of them at once. Wow, so this is good. So people with phones, do you still have issues joining Google Meet with your phones? So alternatively, I can choose to remove someone from the meeting. I can choose to say, no, this guy here, I should remove him. And then they will ask me, do you want to fill in an abuse report? In case he has violated any rules, you can choose to file an abuse report so that that person does not bother you anymore. But in most cases, we just click on remove and that person will be removed. But I'll not
violated the rules.
So any more questions concerning this? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to end this meeting and then also show us how we can start this meeting on mobile. So when I click leave the meeting, let me screen share this side as well.
Moses.
Yes, please.
Let me in.
Hmm?
Let me in. Am I in the waiting room or what is it?
I don't seem to quite get you, Emoru. Yes?
God pray. Am I in the waiting room? What is happening?
Moses.
Yes, please.
What about screen sharing and presenting on Google Meet?
Yes,
Have you talked about
this? Yes, this is what I'm going to do here. Though we had talked about it briefly. So here, I can choose to present now. And then, like we said, they'll ask you your entire screen, a specific window, or a tab. I want to present a window. Then they will ask me which window I want to present. So I'm going to choose the current presentation and then click on share. And then everybody in the link in the meeting is going to see my screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Oh, I think I clicked wrongly and oh my God. Let me first go back to Zoom, but then again, go back to Meet. Okay, so can people see my screen now? Oh, I'm seeing very many more people are joining. I'm really getting excited now. So now here is where I go ahead and present my slides, just like I organized them. Is everything clear for you people? And then the session will go on as planned. Same way you have been doing normal sessions in our classes. The same way we do things on Zoom is the very, very same way we can do things on Meet. One advantage I have seen from Zoom is that it has a little more features as compared to Meet. Because I can record, people can put up their hands, people can respond with clapping, laughter, and everything. And all this can happen with a basic account. All these things can happen as long as you're the host, which is not the case for Google Meet. And then Zoom also does not require me to have an account to host. So I can just start by hosting. Meet can also do the same, but then you'll have even more limitations because some of those functions don't work unless you have a Google account. For example, like the jam. The jam has to be stored on your Google Drive. So if you don't have a Google account, that means you don't have a Drive. If you don't have a Google account, that means you don't have Google Drive storage. I can also choose. Now, for example, with Zoom, the moment I click on presenting, it automatically asks me if I want to stop the current screen and present something else. With Google Meet, I'll have to first stop presenting, and then I present again, and then choose what I want to present. So sometimes it could be a little hilarious. For example, in the morning session, I wanted to show people. I wanted to show people the Zoom controls, you remember? But then I had to use screenshots because I could not show them the control bar. Zoom cannot show its own control bar. But now I have, here is where we said, here is where we start our video. You see, Zoom has a little better clarity for video as compared to Google Meet. I hope you agree with me. I will not do anything to mute. You people will not hear me. Then security. Here is where we said we can lock a meeting so people don't join in. Enable waiting room. Share screen. Allow participants to. You see all these options. Sometimes you've started a Zoom meeting and you've forgotten that you're not supposed to allow participants to share screen. Then all of a sudden, as students share their screen. I think this is all for. I think this is all for Meet. So I'm going to end the meeting.
Moses.
Yes, George.
Yeah, this is Rogers.
Yes, Rogers.
Yeah, I also, you see, both of them have advantages and disadvantages.
Exactly.
One of the things I like more about Zoom is being able to easily record. I can even record it with my computer.
Yes.
And being able to easily stream to YouTube. But here, it is a bit, you have to first pay, for example, for you to be able to record.
And streaming is very difficult with them.
But again, with this one, you can easily create, you don't have to even to schedule a meeting. You go to Meet and you just say start meeting. You can even start an instant meeting. If you're using a laptop, you don't need to install anything. It works within the browser off the shelf. And also Google Meet is integrated with the Google Classroom. If you are using Google Classroom, you can easily start a Google Meet session with your students within just a few clicks from Google Classroom, and you start a meeting. So Google Meet, being part of the Google family, also has some advantages. So that's what I can say.
Basically, that is why we have also been talking about the collaboration tools of the Google fraternity. It has built the collaboration to a level that anyone, anywhere can have very many of these features. For example, as long as you have a Google account, you have free online storage, that is Google Drive, 15 GB. That means you already have an email address. You can have a business account using Google My Business. The features are kind of countless. There are very, very many. You can have search. You people see, you can have Google search, you can have YouTube, you have Google Play Store, you have Google News, you have email, you have Meet, you have chat. Chat is kind of trying to replace Hangouts. So in the far future, we may not have Hangouts anymore. Then we also have Google Contacts. We no longer have to look for our phone numbers. For me, I have switched phones 4 times this year. I've lost 2, I have sold 2. And the whole process is kind of seamless because the moment I hold a phone for more than 10 minutes, it looks exactly like my old phone. So regardless whether it is a Samsung phone or it is an Oppo or it's whichever phone it is, as long as I can install Google, it will do just fine. Even for iPhones, the moment you install Google, your apps, your accounts come immediately, your passwords, everything. Google Drive, Google Calendar, Google Translate, Google Photos. My photos are all in one place. Then it has Duo. Duo is a video communication tool. It's like video call, like Skype. So having a Google account is a plus. Zoom is very good, but also Google is fabulous. So you just have to choose whichever is convenient for you and proceed with that. So let me end this meeting by saying this. When you click on end, when you're the host, there's an option for you to just leave the meeting. For you, you leave the meeting and you let the people on the meeting handle their issues. But the best option when you're the host is to end the call. It's just like a hang up so that everybody can be shut off. Otherwise, the meeting may never end because you will be the host and then another host and then another host. It could keep you moving in circles. Unless there are more questions, I would like to call it a day from here. Rogers, oh, Apollo Justin, you're saying something?
Yeah, Moses.
Yes, Rogers.
Don't forget the assignment. You have to give an assignment in every lesson.
Yes, yes. Apollo. Okay, I think Apollo just forgot and left his hand up. So let us proceed to the assignments. The assignment today is very, very simple. Schedule a meet session and submit the link to the meeting as the assignment. Schedule a meet session and submit link to the meeting as the assignment. So I think this is very easy. However, to people who, some people have scheduled, and the moment you log in, when you're ending the meeting, all you have to do is just leave the call. Because when you end the meeting, then no one will be there to let us in. So just schedule the meeting and let it there. And that assignment will be marked tomorrow. So let's give you a whole night of scheduling and checking in through. Any further questions? I would like to hand over to Mr. Mukalele. I think Mr. Mukalele is off.
Okay, thank you very much. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
Yes, Rogers, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much, Moses, for the presentation. Just for the sake, for purposes of making sure everyone is clear with the assignment, I'm going to try to do the assignment here in 3 minutes actually, using my phone. Yeah, because some members think that the assignments are very hard. Yeah, so I'm going to try to do the assignment here within 3 minutes. So the question was asking us to schedule a meeting. So you go and you open the Meet app. If you don't have it, you first install Google Meet. You will go to your Play Store. Play Store. Okay. And then you search for Meet. So you'll be able to install this app. And when you install it, you click on Open. And you are there. So the question is saying, schedule a meeting. So we click on New Meeting. There are 3 options. There are many options there. There is Instant Meeting in Google Calendar. Google Calendar is in case you want to put the meeting for some time. So here I just say get a meeting link to share, and I have the link. So this meeting can copy. I finish scheduling my meeting. Here is this link will be anytime you join, you'll be ready to go into the meeting. Then after that, I'll go to my Google Classroom. So I'll find the assignment. Moses, we are waiting for the assignment. There is assignment 5 on Zoom. So don't submit it here on Zoom. There is another one. Moses, I don't know how many minutes we should wait for an assignment for this one, but you come here and you'll open module 5 Google Meet assignment. Put there the link that you have copied, and then you see it will show you your work and say turn in, and you'll be having 100 marks. It is an assignment you can do in 5 minutes. So we don't want excuses that we are not able to turn in work, that we need a lot of time, that what. It is an assignment you can do in 5 minutes. That's all we want of you. You can also try in top of that to try out with other colleagues. You can send them and then they join, and then you try. If you had said instant meeting, it would just automatically go into the meeting and
Rogers, we seem to have lost you. Tetukuwulira.
yeah, I think the problem was I'd opened the Google Meet. So Google Meet took over the microphone. So I could not be able, you were not able to hear me. So I've ended that. Yeah, but what I was saying, members, that please just do that. That's an assignment, a 10-minute assignment. Try it out, and then also you tell us which of the 2 applications can be easy for you. I've seen some schools are using Google Meet, but yeah, so, and Google Meet is more expensive, slightly more expensive, because you don't buy it alone, you buy the entire Google Workspace if you are to use it. But it synchronizes well with other Google applications, and you can be able to use it. It has more time than Zoom. Yeah, but Zoom has better things again. That's why we are using Zoom. We can easily stream to YouTube. We can easily record. We have many other features. Zoom is more popular in terms of video conferencing than Meet. Okay, thank you very much, members. We are going to be ending here.
The assignment is ready. It just got delayed.
7 minutes to 5, and we are going to be requesting for members. One, we have the attendance sheet. I'm sharing the attendance sheet. If you have not attended, if you are not signed, you fill in that and you indicate this session. You select this session, and then you tell us any feedback. Every day we have meetings with admins, as facilitators we meet, and we evaluate the day and we look at the comments that you are sending in. So please, you fill in the attendance list. I'm sharing it also in the WhatsApp group. So just fill in that attendance list, and then we shall be good to go. Yeah, so fill in that. We shall be using it also to make sure that you people are getting, yeah, so I've shared the link in the chat. Okay, I've shared the link in the chat. You should be able to open that, and then you fill in. So at this time, let me ask, Enoch, you have a hand? Enoch?
Yes, Rogers. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, Eno, go ahead.
Thank you so much. This one goes to Mr. Mukalele Rogers. You talked about the other teacher of Nsambia SS, the other teacher of mathematics, Mr. Waruga. I'm sorry if I've not pronounced the name well. About blogging, I would like to know more about, is it blogging, vlogging, or what? Or you can even share with me the link so that I can go and cross-check how he does his work. Thank you, Rogers.
Okay, we are going to have a session about that. They are hearing me?
Yes, please.
We are going to have a session about blogging. Vlogging is different from blogging. Blogging is writing. Vlogging is videos. Yeah, so we are going to be looking at that. I think it is on. It is going to be on tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to be looking at YouTube and blogging and vlogging. Yeah, so we are going to be looking at that tomorrow. So be sure to join in. We are going to share more links, and we are also preparing some articles which we need to show you.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's someone who is saying, Banange, what do we do with the link for attendance? You open it and you fill it in. You touch it and then it opens a Google form and you fill in your details. You fill in your name, you select the session, this current session, and then you put a comment and then you submit. Yeah, so we are going to be looking at blogging tomorrow and how you can help use it as a school or as a teacher. Okay, let us get someone to give us a closing prayer, and we shall be through with this session. Who has not spoken today?
Is Mr. Daniel Waninda on?
Mr. Dale? Mr. Dale? Okay, Mr. Dale, you have failed to unmute. Let us get Madam Nangoma.
Thank you very much. Let's ambassadors and pray. Loving Father, I thank you for the gift of this time. We thank you for the knowledge and wisdom you've equipped our facilitators. We thank you for that we are part of this, and we pray that at the end of the project, we come out competent in whatever it is they have told, prompt our actions, and grant us journey mercies as we head home. We pray, believing and trusting in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, your Son. Amen.
Amen. Okay, thank you very much, members. You can turn on your video and you say bye-bye and have a nice evening, all of you. Mr. Mkama Agure Ginger, I've seen your salute. Mr. John Bosco, Steve. Hey. Thank you very much for joining in. Mr. Egwell Victor, Mr. Dennis, thank you very much for joining in. Let us try to do something. This is just a beginning point. It should not be the end. It should be just for you to get started and then become digital teachers. God bless you all.
God bless you too, Roger.
Mr. Emerald, please, you'll close the meeting.